Hey guys, what's up? Amir Writer here for another episode of the Transform Sales Podcast, the software demo review series. I got my guest, Michael Cole, SVP of Marketing at Everflow. What's up, Michael?
Doing good, man. Great to be here.
I like the soundproofing on your wall. I'm a little jealous, but I'm not gonna focus on that. I'll focus on Everflow. For those that listen in, in this show, we like to really kind of focus in on specific use cases. And I just remind anybody who's listening that we're not excluding everybody. So we're going to talk about financial companies during this specific call, but there are plenty of industries that are supported by Everflow. But we'll get that on some other episodes. So for this time, Mike, I really want to kind of flow into like Everflow's partnership and affiliate management software for financial software companies with a complex sales cycle. I know that's a big area where you guys can help. Maybe you could start off by telling the listeners, a little bit about Everflow and how you guys, solve that gap of a complex sales cycle for financial companies, especially those that are already with existing affiliate programs that need an upgrade. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I think the start is just understanding sort of the difference in the ecosystem. So there's a lot of existing affiliate networks out there that are legacy. Almost all of them are like 15 years plus. With Everflow, we started back in 2017 where the owners had already built their own affiliate network. They had sold it. They had finished out their lockout period. They saw that no one had really solved it in the market. And so they started Everflow, knowing exactly what to build and how to build it for scale. So that was a huge advantage in the early days. And the other piece was that we were built on top of Google Cloud, which means that all the data within our system is accessible in real time. And we can analyze it. We can do comparisons on it. This all gave us that core advantage at the very beginning of being able to hand basically unlimited amounts of data, break it down, filter down, make sure that no spreadsheets were ever needed again, and understand what's really working. So for finance in particular, there's a few very important things to making that successful that you usually cannot get with the more traditional affiliate networks. So one of them is just be able to, a good example of this would be, we have a customer Unlock that we worked with Vibrant Agency, and they managed to grow the program year over year with qualified leads by 740%. And the way that they did that is that they looked at Unlock is a home financing thing. So it's basically you can get a loan based on home equity, and you're not taking on the debt of a traditional debt-based loan. It's actually a percent of ownership in your house. And so it's a complicated thing. They were starting off, they knew they wanted an affiliate program because every financial blog and website out there in the world, guess what? They all have an affiliate side of their business. And if you want to have that one-to-one conversation with these financial publishers, money talks really well. So Unlock wanted the affiliate program in the first place to basically be hey, we want to work with the business insiders and explain to them exactly how we are different than a traditional debt financing. And so that's why they went with the affiliate program. And then Vibrant came on to make that successful as their agency. And with this kind of thing, a home financing, and home equity, it's a complicated sales cycle. Someone signs up, they request this, they have to go through the approval process, they have to get approved, all the checks have to be done, and then finally 6 months later that money is dispersed out to them. So there are many different stages in there, and in Everflow we would consider those all events. So the ability to track, not only did they come to your website, did they check out some details, did they create an account, did they submit their lead, did that lead get approved? All of these are different events you can track within our system. Yeah. And one of the great things that Vibrant did with Unlock is that they would go with their best affiliates and they would actually walk them through every single time they sent a lead that got rejected. And I think that's the most important thing, because the truth of affiliate is that they are taking on all the risk and the time. They're spending a lot of time and effort promoting you. And if they don't know why they're not making money, they get angry really quick. So walking them through exactly hey, you sent us traffic and we can't pay you because it got rejected for this reason. For these 3 sources, can you not send them anymore? That makes it easy on the affiliate. It means that they focus on what matters. It means that they're sending traffic that makes Unlock happy, and you create a win-win situation because you have transparency into what truly is a quality lead.
I've experienced this pain point personally, and I'll bring up the story real quickly because it kind of got me. So first of all, as an affiliate partner for companies, when I don't get paid or I don't find out, I stop sending them business, right? And it's very discouraging. Reminds me of a company called Divvy. Have you ever heard of Divvy? Divvy is a credit card out of Utah, and I tested them in their financial program, and I referred some friends who got the credit card, and first of all, I didn't really understand the program because it was super unclear, right? Like it wasn't unclear what kind of events they were paying me on. But then I got a check in the mail for $1.25, and it pissed me off just because I was like, not because the check was so small, but just because I had no idea how they were calculating on it, and I had to like remind them 10 times to pay me, and then they sent me a $1.25 check. And now hearing what you're saying, and I appreciate you like actually naming out a company and a case study. But now it makes a lot of sense as to why this particular listing is focused on financial companies. It's because not only is it complex in the sense that people need to get approved for certain reasons or not, right? So there has to be communication, but you also might be dealing with the fact that the equity line might be 0.001% of the house, and they might be paying out 0.001% because it's very small margins. And if you don't know that, you're not really understanding how this financial company is making money. You could feel like you're not getting paid out. And sometimes you could be overpaid, right? So makes a lot of sense. I had a personal experience with that, Divvy, if you're listening, you might want to check these guys out. I would refer you to more business if I knew to get paid. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense because, especially you mentioned some of the older companies that do the affiliates that I'm not going to name the names, right? But they've been around for 20 years. And a lot of these bigger companies, they kind of gravitate towards those bigger communities because they're bigger. They're like the IBMs, right? And I think it's a false host because they kind of get lured in by seeing another financial company in there. That financial company is not having the best experience. They don't know that, right? And those companies have not really, changed, and they're kind of very broad. Some of them are B2C, some are B2B, right? Talking about like CJ.com, right? Something like that, or like a share sale, something like all those guys, right? So that makes a lot of sense. And it's also what I heard, which is really cool, is that the founders kind of personally had a pain point that they solved, right? Which is a very common theme with softwares and platforms that are successful and super focused. So if you don't mind, if you could share your screen maybe and just really show anybody who's listening who's trying to run an affiliate program for a financial company, because a lot of fintech now is SaaS, right? You got the Brex, the Divvies, you got a lot of global. You have companies like Deal, they're in our marketplace to do global payroll and stuff, and a lot of has that same complexity. So it's a big niche that's growing. Okay, cool. I can see it.
Cool.
So walk me through this. I'm on an old platform. I'm in a financial company. I got a complex site. I got a little bit of a complex program. Talk me through it.
Yeah. So I mean, as we were talking about before, like Everflow is a partner marketing platform that allows you to manage all of your affiliates. And it's ideal for things like financial companies or any company that has a complex either sales cycle or like customer funnel. So I'm just going to cover a couple of things briefly, just give you an idea of it. And
demo high level.
Yeah. And it's just one of those things that just keep in mind when you're thinking about this, like a traditional affiliate network, you look at one conversion or event as like the main thing you have, which is basically like they sign up for a lead or they sign up for a sell. Any other data past that is often like pulling teeth in these older affiliate networks. So like we help a lot by putting all this data front and center and letting you really understand what's working. So just a few things. So obviously like you're going to have lots of different channels sending you traffic. You need to understand like how that traffic is performing, how many people reached your website. Conversions would be things like purchases or signed up for leads. So how much was that first event you care about that typically you want to pay your partners out or affiliates out on? Events is everything else. So that can be anything from engagement. It can be, as we were talking about with Unlock, like those later stages of approval. You can even tie payments to any of these later stages. So your highest quality partners, they're not just getting paid on that $10 per lead. They're actually making the $1,000 on the customer because that really incentivizes them to send you high quality traffic and to put you front and center, while also making sure that like you're paying them on the money you're making in that situation. So it's very low risk for you. So having all of these events really is a much better way to align a program to be successful. And with affiliate, the more you can pay them out and make money, the more successful they are, because they're taking on the risk and they want to scale it.
Sure, and also some partners might just be like a newsletter, right? And they might just want clicks and a payment for clicks. So it gives you the flexibility also to not only adapt to a certain reseller style, but also to kind of, you know, get what you need in the moment, right? Like maybe you have a campaign where like it's time to get clicks. We got a really strong offer, right? So you're allowed to kind of, I would say, have visibility on incentive programs and adjust them for the right partners, right?
For sure. Yeah, you can set up your structures based on however you want to pay out your partners, and you can handle all the payments through our platform, which is the other really painful part of, like, if you're trying to do this without a network, like the paying of partners is the worst part, because everyone gets paid a different amount. It varies from month to month. Your accounting team will be driven nuts by it. So you need to have some solution in place that basically solves for partner can be paid, partner can log in and get transparency into their, like, what activities happened, how much revenue they earned, and that they know they're gonna get paid. Like, that is the baseline for making affiliate successful at all. So you need to have something for it, and then we go way beyond what is out there.
Like, hey, person didn't get approved by credit, right? Like even seeing why someone didn't get paid is also part of that, as you mentioned. Cool.
For sure. So the next part is partner. So the other thing that's pretty unique about Everflow is that we track everything. So we can track your organic traffic. We can track all of your paid ads. We can track all your affiliates and partners. And this becomes super important because some of your partners, like say like a content publisher or influencer, it's very like top of funnel. They are sending you traffic that is researching your brand for the first time. They're not ready to buy yet. It might take them weeks before they come back and they actually sign up. And in a traditional setup, like they come back through a paid ad channel, they come back through a coupon website. In any of those situations, the original influencer or publisher they don't get credit if you do if you're just going to reward the last touch source, or if paid ads is a totally different tracking platform where people argue about who delivered that. So having everything in the same place actually lets you see like what is truly bringing people to your door and what channels are actually, if you give it enough time, driving those sales versus what channels were just at the last step before they purchased or signed up for a lead.
Makes sense. So it gives people more flexibility, and it actually adapts to the world we live in, where we live in multi-attribution touch points, right? And the old world was you just really looked at the goal line, and that's just not how the world really works. Was you mentioned that people might be influenced by a newsletter where you might, pay that guy at $2 per click, right? And then it later converts because of an ad, but that ad was really more of a retargeting. But the person without the visibility could be like, no, that was it. They clicked the ad, but in reality, no, it was the newsletter. They researched their time, so it makes a lot of sense. It kind of goes into my last question, because I know that it's for anyone who's a finance affiliate program, they're going to know what's going on by the dashboard, because it manages what they have to manage. But talk to me a little bit about like what key performance indicators that financial leader would actually look to measure success. And it could be obviously not a KPI. It could literally be like, hey, I just couldn't do this before, now I can, right? But like, what is that typical thing that they're like, oh, this works and I'm happy?
Yeah, so let's look through like an example of like what the events look like, and that'll be the best way to see it. So I'm going to look at a cost per lead type offer for a free trial. In this case, an e-signature product. But basically on this right side is the kind of structure of a campaign. So in this case, when the affiliate sends a free trial sign up, they get paid $10. We have integrations with the CRM, so you can automatically see the stages of progression there if you're using like Salesforce or HubSpot. So it goes from the free trial to the HubSpot automatic updating of marketing qualified lead. At that point, when sales is pretty confident they're going to win the deal, it goes to HubSpot's opportunity stage and you pay out the partner more. And then when the lead becomes a customer, you pay out the partner even more. So you can actually like pay out the structure of like multiple steps. And so this is basically making sure the affiliate makes a lot of money if they're sending you customers, but they're making a little bit of money up front. From the marketing leader's perspective, like they're seeing like, hey, I'm not spending that much money up front, but I'm making a ton of revenue on it. Cause like the whole reason for affiliate in the first place is that it's extremely cost effective if you're doing it right, because you're always paying the affiliate a lot less than what you're making. So you would take infinite affiliates in that situation if the lead quality was good and the fraud was low, which you have the ability to see in our platform.
Scalable. It's scalable and predictable, right? And I think if I interpret what you're saying as a KPI is when a company procures their software, they typically measure success by actually seeing an affiliate's campaign generate clicks, conversions, and revenue in one dashboard. And that's kind of, and it makes sense, right? Because for this specific listing, we're talking about financial companies that have a program on an older system, right? Mind you, anybody listening, you could start off with a better system right off the bat, right? So when they could see what they couldn't see before, they're happy. I like it.
Yep.
That totally makes sense. Last question I got for you, man. Talk to me about like deliverables. What kind of setup looks like. Are people typically able to implement this in-house? Are they hiring agencies? I know you mentioned an agency before that specializes in helping people with affiliate programs. Or what does it look like to get to full ramp with your software? What can they expect? And obviously that could be a different answer if you're Citibank or if you're a startup, right? But on average.
Yeah, so we spend a ton of effort and focus on customer success, because one of the things is if you've actually used one of these like older affiliate networks, you know that they're very basic, which means that there's not that much complications of things you need to think about. Like you don't never have to think about how to track all of these events if you can't track them. So there's always a lot of like new things to learn and to figure out which of our like features and capabilities are most valuable for your business. So we spend a lot of times on onboarding. We have like proof of concepts and free trials for people to get used to it, to get familiar with it, and to be confident that it will work for their business. So that's one piece. The other piece of that, though, is with the actual implementation, it's just placing a couple scripts and we can help you through that. But with affiliate as a whole, especially if you're not, like if you're, that's not your specialty, I always would recommend starting with an affiliate management agency, because the other piece of affiliate is once it's set up, you need the relationships. And affiliate management agencies, like if they're managing 5 programs right now and they're paying out that affiliate $100,000 a month, guess what? It's really easy for them to go to that affiliate and be like, I have a new client. I'd love for you to set them up too. And if like at some point you're like, I have enough value, thank you agency, the affiliate's still going to work with you. If they're making money with you, they're going to stay.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I appreciate that. Right. I think a lot of, people fail with their affiliate programs because they don't hire the right agency at the right time. Yeah, I'd love to talk to that agency so I can get them on the marketplace and get them there too, so that they can help people who get Everflow in real time. But this has been awesome. It's been really helpful. For anybody who wants to try the free trial Everflow, the link is in the description below and you'll find it in the marketplace. Michael, they want to kind of connect with you, learn more about it directly from you. Are you LinkedIn? Where are you at these days? Where can they find you?
Yeah, definitely connect with me on LinkedIn. Just look at Michael Cole plus Everflow. My name's very generic, so make sure you type in Everflow when you're trying to find me. And I'm always happy to chat there. You can also send me an email at michael@everflow.io. And always, we're a very transparent company. We're open with everything.
Mike, this has been awesome. I appreciate you taking the time to help people today with some information on Everflow. And everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Transform Sales podcast. And until next time, I will let you guys get back to doing the things that you're doing. So take care. Mike, have a good one.